Hello friends, I am Shaunak Bansal, going to present my work on graphene and mercury cadmium telluride based single and dual junction photodetectors in long infrared region. And this work has been published in IEEE Translational Nanotechnology, in which the single and dual junction photodetectors have been characterized in terms of various electrical and optical parameters by using Silvaco TCAD software. The results are further validated by analytical modeling. The dual heterojunction photodetector is expected to exhibit lower Dark-Line density and high temperature operation due to lower thermogeneration rate than that of the single heterojunction based devices. All the devices demonstrate self-power mode operation and exhibit the better response. And from the result, it was found that external quantum efficiency of more than 100% is achieved in all the devices due to carrier multiplication effect, external biasing, temperature effect in the bilayer graphene and mercury cadmium telluride heterojunction. Now, photodetectors are the photosensor which will sense the electromagnetic radiations or the incident light. They are termed as the optical receiver unit, where reverse bias PN junction photodiode will convert the incident optical energy to the electrical signal, that is current or voltage. Hence they are referred to as the OE converter, that is optical to electrical converter. Photodetectors are made from the semiconductor materials such as silicon, germanium, third fifth base material, second sixth base group material, and other two-dimensional nanomaterials like graphene and MOS2. Photodetector found their potential application in the fiber optical communication system, and they can be used as interconnects. They can be used for the terahertz detection, military applications, imaging, remote sensing, surveillance, and spectroscopy, and etc. Photodetector will work in the two possible mode of operation, which is photovoltaic mode, in which diode is operating without the bias voltage. Second mode is the photoconducting mode, in which diode is operating without the reverse bias voltage. So we can say photodetector is the current source with or without the bias voltage. Now, basic step in photodetection. When incident light will fall on the photodetector, the photodetector material will absorb that optical energy and it will generate the charge carrier. The generated charge carrier will transfer across the depletion region, and by applying the suitable biasing, we can extract the charge carriers which will give the flow of current, which is known as photocurrent. IR detectors. Now, the IR photodetectors have been successfully demonstrated from a wide variety of narrow bandgap semiconductors, which can be silicon, germanium, and they can be alloy of third fifth base group material, fourth sixth base group material, second sixth base group material. These materials will absorb the incident photon energy corresponding to their band gap and results in the output photocurrent. The IR photodetection region is characterized in the short wavelength, which is from 1 to 3 micrometer, mid wavelength, which is from 3 to 5 micrometer, long wavelength, which is from 8 to 14 micrometer, and very long wavelength, which is from the 14 to 30 micrometer ranges. The most commonly used for development of the IR photodetector are the mercury cadmium telluride and graphene. IR photodetector can operate at low temperature so as to result in the low noise and high device performance. IR photodetector can be used as a biomedical and thermal imaging, gas sensing, night vision, spectroscopy, and free space communication system. So, mercury cadmium telluride is most commonly used for the making the IR detectors because it has a tunable band gap. It has a large optical coefficient which will enable the high quantum efficiency. It has the favorable inherent recombination mechanism that will lead to the high temperature operation. It has the high absorption coefficient. It has the moderate dielectric constant and index of refraction, moderate thermal coefficient of expansion, and availability of the wide band gap lattice match substrate for the epitaxial growth. So these properties will make the mercury cadmium telluride a suitable candidate for the IR detector. Now, energy band gap, affinity, and intrinsic carrier concentration of the mercury cadmium telluride is depend on the X composition of the cadmium and temperature. So Depending on the cutoff wavelength and temperature, we can tune the band gap of the mercury cadmium telluride by changing the mole fraction of the cadmium. And cutoff wavelength is defined as the wavelength at which the response of the device has been dropped to 50% of its peak value. Graphene. Graphene is the 2D crystalline allotrope of the carbon atom which is arranged in the hexagonal lattice. Here 2D means it is a nanomaterial which has the few atom thickness. Graphene has the best excellent electronic and optical properties, so it can be used as a future optoelectronic application. And in the band gap of the graphene, the valence band and conduction band will touch each other, so that's why it has a zero band gap, and this point is known as direct point or charge neutrality point. So graphene is also regarded as the semi-metal. The extraordinary property of the graphene, that including electrical and optical, makes the graphene as a suitable candidate for making the optoelectronic devices, and these properties are high mobility, which is 100 times more than the silicon. It has a large conductivity, it has a broad spectralism, it has the high current carrying capacity due to the high built-in electric field, which will effectively separate the charge carrier, so it will generate high current density. It has a wavelength independent absorption. It has a high Fermi velocity, which is of the order 1 by 300 times the speed of light. It has a tunable optical properties by varying the Fermi energy. It has the very short recombination time, around 2 picoseconds, and monolayer graphene has the light absorption of the 2.3% from ultraviolet to IR for the single pass, and for the bilayer graphene has the twice as much. So we have the advantage of the graphene-based photodetectors. Graphene-based photodetector can operate for the long wavelength. They have a high-speed operation due to the high carrier saturation velocity and short carrier lifetime. The potential of graphene photodetector in device and system integration. They can be transferred to any substrate, so you can say integration is easy. They can exhibit the high quantum efficiency. Graphene photodetector can be able to tune the Fermi level by external gate voltage or by applying the chemical doping, so we can achieve the broadband absorption range from ultraviolet to far infrared. Graphene has been successfully composite with the different materials like zinc oxide, silicon, cadmium sulfide for the ultraviolet application, gallium nitride for the visible application, and silicon, germanium, lead sulfide, and gallium arsenide for the IR applications. Now we have some challenges and for the graphene-based photodetectors, due to the zero band gap and small optical absorption of around 2.3% in the case of monolayer graphene, the graphene-based photodetector will suffer with the high current at room temperature. They have a limited photo current responsivity and photosensitivity. So to avoid this, we can use the few layer graphene or bilayer graphene, and we can tune the Fermi level by intentional doping, which will create the suitable band gap, and the spectral rhythm of the graphene can be extended by making the heterostructure with other semiconductor materials such as mercury cadmium telluride. And practically it was found that by transferring the few layer of graphene on mercury cadmium telluride substrate will give the high conductivity and high optical transmittance of the 80% in mid wavelength region at 77 Kelvin and room temperature. Doping of graphene. So intentional doping in graphene will shift the Fermi level either upward or downward direction and creating a band gap opening. The generally p-type doping of graphene can be achieved through chemical doping with nitric acid, ferrichloride, gold trichloride, thionyl chloride, and niobium chloride by the chemical vaporization technique. N-type doping of the graphene is achieved with the help of zinc magnesium or with the aluminum nanoparticle. And it was found that by growing the graphene on silicon carbide substrate will make the graphene as the N-type. And a maximum band gap of 430 millielectron-volt is found for the p-doped graphene, which will increase the conductivity of the graphene and thus will increase the carrier concentrations. Now moving to my work, which is the single and dual junction photodetector. For making the single junction photodetector, I had taken the N-type, which is lightly doped murky current telluride as an active layer, on which we have deposited a 2 nanometer thick p-type bilayer graphene, and the device are the top illuminated. So there is a formation of one heterojunction among these, and the X composition of the cadmium is tuned in such a way so as to work in the long wavelength operating wavelength. For making the dual junction photodetector, I have included one thin layer of 50 nanometer below the absorption region, and in order to understand the band gap effect, I have taken the X composition of the same composition here, and I have changed the composition as the 0.32 for the cadmium here, and it is forming that in the device 2, this is a device 1 and this is the device 2. Device 2 has the one heterojunction BLG bilayer graphene and the murky current telluride, and this has the homojunction here. So it has a single junction and single heterojunction but dual junction. So in the case of device 3, it has the dual heterojunction. One is the among the bilayer graphene and murky current telluride, and one is the murky current telluride and the murky current telluride with the another X composition. So the device has been characterized in terms of the various electrical and optical parameters, and it was found that dual heterojunction will show the better performance as it has the minimum thermal generation and parasitic impedance here, and the alloy composition of this highly doped layer was optimized so as to increase the built-in electric field at the junction, and this built-in electric field will drift the photogenetic carrier to the electrode, resulting in effective photocurrent through the heterojunction. So for all the three devices, device 1, device 2 and device 3, the energy band gap, murky current telluride composition and thickness of the active layer has been optimized for the best compromise between the requirement for the efficient use of the LWIR radiation and low thermal generation. And I have used the parameters for the simulation. So these are the parameters for all the devices 1, 2 and 3. So in this work, graphene is considered as a three-dimensional in nature, demonstrating the integration of the multi-layer graphene with the conventional semiconductor, which will couple the two-dimensional transport equation to the three-dimensional equation. A two-dimensional semiconductor material has one physical dimension of the order of Fermi wavelength, and the Fermi wavelength is given by this expression. In the case of my device, it was found 0.56 nanometer, which is less than the considered thickness, that is 2 nanometer of the proposed devices. Here n is the sheet carrier density, and sheet carrier density is obtained by multiplying the graphene thickness to the bulk carrier density. So here these are the band diagram, schematic of the band diagram of all the devices. Upon the absorption of the photon, the valence electron will excite to the conduction band, which will further excite the another valence electron, and it will generate the multiple electron hole pairs. So we can say with the absorption of the one incident photon, it will generate the multiple carriers, due to which we have the possibility of the efficiency more than 100%. And it was found that for the device 1, it has the one heterojunction due to the different work function of the materials. For the device 1, the electric field was found to be around 20 kilovolt per centimeter. In the case of device 2, which has a one heterojunction and one homojunction, the electric field at this homojunction was found to be 45 kilovolt per centimeter, and for the dual heterojunction device, the electric field was found to be at around 4 times than that of the device 2. So we can say this dual heterojunction has the high electric field, which effectively separate the charge carriers and enhance the photo response. So here I have plotted the graph between the current density and the voltage under the dark and illumination condition, and all the results are verified with the analytical modeling based on the drift diffusion, tunneling and Chu's model. And it was found that dark current density will perfectly match in reverse bias with the analytical modeling, and dark current density will increase in the biasing voltage. So we can see here that this is our current density at the voltage of minus 0.5 volt with the wavelength of the 10.6 micrometer, which is the cutoff wavelength, and at temperature 77 Kelvin. And it was found that device 3 has the less dark current density as compared to device 1, and device 3 has the large photocurrent density as compared to device 1 and device 2, and more around 10 to the power 6 enhancement in photocurrent was found than that of the dark current, which is due to the efficient carrier generation at the bilayer graphene and multi-crystalline interface, which is dictated by the built-in electric field present at the hetero interface. Among all, device 3 shows the better performance and better photocurrent density, which is due to the presence of huge electric field, which is around 180 kilowatt per centimeter at the N active layer and N positive heterojunction. And such huge electric field will drift the photogenetic carrier to the electrode and resulting in the net photocurrent through the devices. So in order to understand the charge carrier near the depletion region of the device due to photo excitation, we have studied the CV characteristic, that is capacitor voltage characteristic at 1 megahertz. The dark and photocapacitance for all the devices will decrease with the increase in the reverse bias voltage. We can see from the figure here. And the equivalent capacitance of device 2 and device 3 will consist of the two junction capacitance in series. The effective capacitance, dark capacitance of all the three devices is found to be same, and the light capacitance for the device 3 is found to be more as compared to device 1 and device 2. So under the IR illumination, the capacitance of the device 3 will increase, which comes from the photogeneration of free carriers in the depletion region only. Now I have also plotted the photo switching response of all the devices under the 1 watt per meter square light intensity at the wavelength of 10.6 micrometer at temperature 77 Kelvin. So in this, the IR radiation was switched on and off for the 10 picosecond and photocurrent was recorded. So from figure it is clear that device 1 and device 2 show the persistent slow switching, means they show the slow exponential rise and decay of the current under the IR illumination and dark condition, whereas device 3 will show the quick, or we can say rapid or sharp switching photo response. So it was found that for device 1 and device 2, the rise and fall time was the 7.4 picosecond and fall time was the 5.7 picosecond, and for device 3 they have the rapid and sharp photo switching with the rise time of 0.05 and the fall time of 0.013. Such rapid photo switching in device 3 is due to the presence of the huge electric field at the N negative, that is active layer, and N positive dual junction, which will quickly drift the photogenetic carrier to the electrode, resulting in the net photo current. Now optical characterization. For optical characterization, we have studied the quantum efficiency, external photocurrent responsivity, and noise equivalent power. So it is clear that the quantum efficiency, noise equivalent power, and external photo responsivity will perfectly match with the analytical modeling. And here we can see here these are the parameters which we are getting here. We can see here device 3 will show the high quantum efficiency as compared to device 1 and device 2. This is due to the presence of huge electric field at the heterojunction, and low value of noise equivalent power is desirable so as to achieve the best performance, means it is highly sensitive photodetector. Further, I have plotted the quantum efficiency as a function of photon energy at the different temperature, and it was found that with the temperature quantum efficiency will increase and it can go more than 100% due to the presence of high electric field and carrier multiplication effect in the graphene. And if the incident light is less than the band gap of this MCT, that is the mercury light, and it will give the less efficiency as compared to high photon energy. So for all the devices, The high quantum efficiency of more than 100% is achieved due to the carrier multiplication effect in graphene and due to the high electric field present at the heterojunction. So these are the comparative summary of the all the optoelectronic parameters for all the devices which I obtained at the bias of minus 0.5 volt and with a bias of 77 with a temperature of 77 Kelvin. So conclusion, in this work I have designed the three different device architecture: device 1 which consists of one heterojunction, device 2 which is a dual junction which consists of one heterojunction and one homojunction, and device 3 which consists of two heterojunctions in the long infrared region. All the optoelectronic properties are analyzed by using the computer simulation, which were further validated and by the analytical model based on the deep diffusion, tunneling and Chu's method. It was found that more than 10 to the power 6 times enhancement in photocurrent density was observed for all the devices with a bias of reverse bias of minus 0.5 volt, which is due to the carrier generation at the bilayer graphene and murky current halide interface. Among all, device 3 will show the better performance as compared to device 1 and device 2. And this such optimum performance is due to the presence of high electric field, which was the 180 kilowatt per centimeter at the N negative and positive heterojunction, which will accelerate the photogenerated electrons to the electrodes, resulting in the effective collection of the photogeneration of the charge carrier. And for all the devices, more than 100% efficiency was achieved at 250 Kelvin due to the carrier multiplication effect in the graphene. This is all about my work. Thank you all guys, and you can cite the paper by this citation. Thank you.